5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts.
Do you follow politics, Mr. Shackle?
Do I look like I follow politics?
Or do they teach you to talk like this in some Panama City sailor want a hump bar? Or is this getaway day and your last shot at his whiskey? Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
All right. The wait is over. The Fix Radio Show with Smitty and, of course, Tripod Bill behind there with his assistant today. And, of course, our research department, Mary Frances, is with us. She's probably on site somewhere.
I'm here. Go ahead.
Roaming the halls,
Go
starting trouble.
I promise, I'm already here.
She won't ever shut up.
Okay.
My goodness.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I tell you what. Listen, everybody, to what I got to say. There's hope for tomorrow if we're waking up today. Ted Nugent, famous words, famous lyrics. He's back in the news. Terrible Ted is back.
Yay, Ted.
Terrible Ted is back. He once said Obama should suck on my machine gun when she was actually investigated from the FBI and the CIA. And can you blame him? He got crazy and he was saying some things, but now he's got a change of heart, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see old Ted's finally slowing his roll a little bit now.
His wife convinced him he needs to rethink
Theodore
himself.
Anthony Nugent, okay? That's right. Is born and raised up there in Detroit, Michigan, Redford to be exact. He's now 68, and he says he's starting to realize that some of the rhetoric that he's spewed before and speaking his mind and getting crazy has gone a little too far. And his wife, like you said, has told him, hey, enough's enough, and at the 69 age, he said his wife has convinced him to slow the harsh terms, don't speak so mean. And he also encouraged his friends to slow it down a little bit. And of course, as we know what's been happening with Steve Scalise and everything, and all the rhetoric that's been going on and the violence, you can't blame him. I think he's coming around. Actually, he's going to be down in South Florida, which I encourage everybody to go out and see. It's a small little venue. I remember the days when he used to play. I remember him in Amboy Dukes. Yeah. So the smaller venues are always better. I like them better. You can see the more personality of the people. The music's better. Instead of going to the large concerts, which I saw him in the huge large concerts in JFK and all around. But if I encourage you guys to go down there and see, it's in Bonita Springs, Florida. If you happen to be in the area, look it up online, and I'm sure he'll be doing his crazy thing. But he has slowed down, and I can't blame him.
Well, hopefully he's not still shooting the flaming arrows across the stage. I got to see him in Birmingham, Alabama.
That's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Almost burnt the stage down with his flying arrows, but his singing is fabulous. Yeah, he does put on a wonderful show.
I'd love to have him come in here, and of course the invitation's there. I'm driving home and I got a load. I'm healthy. I do declare it's a free for all. So come on, Ted, bring it on, brother. Come on up and see us, man. Say hi to us and come on in here and have some fun. We're not meet the press. Guess what? We're not going to try to get you on a gotcha game like Megyn Kelly and Anthony Jones, Alex Jones, which we'll address that in a minute. But first, I want to get to what really seems to be some very important news. There's a deadlock now. The mistrial has been declared.
That's what Tripod Bill was saying this morning, that
we were getting ready.
News was breaking.
He's screaming it. Mistrial on the Cosby thing. Mistrial.
Yeah.
Mistrial on Cosby. So it doesn't mean he can't be retried. He can be retried, but that means that just they're at some kind of deadlock. And so that's a good thing, I guess, for him. At least he's not going to jail right away. And so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll give you updates as we go week to week and see how things go. I'm about to lose a lot of power here. I don't know what's going on with my computer. 239-791-7002, 239-791-7002. Give us a call if you want to speak your mind. By the way, the guilty verdict, we have to talk right now. If you've been watching the Texing suicide case, that's just terrible. Michelle Carter, of course, was found guilty of misdemeanor. Was it a misdemeanor? Michelle Carter, she was found guilty of second degree manslaughter.
And yes, it was
Conrad Roy, who of course filled his truck with lethal fumes and ended up killing himself. You just wonder what this woman was even thinking. You know, she was talking crazy. She was encouraging him. She was the only guy that he turned to. And she let him down, like many men have been let down by many women. I just got to say it.
We got video of the.
We got video of it. Let's see it.
Of the trial.
While you're doing that, I'm going to adjust some stuff. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go run the video. Take over me.
This court, having reviewed the evidence and applied to
Yes,
law
this is actually when the judge actually asked her to stand up, and he was reading the verdict. They basically told her that they found her guilty of to get back into the truck
with friends like that
after he got out of the truck because he was changing his mind about actually taking his own life.
And with friends like that, who needs friends like that?
The judge told the 20-year-old, I thought she was younger than 20, but she's 20-year-old, that she was the reason for the young boy taking his life.
And she
convinced
said
him.
She said in the text message, if you want it as bad as you say you do, it's time to do it today. And of course he said, no more waiting. She said, okay, I'm serious. Like you can't even wait till tonight. You have to go do it and get it back from your walk that you were on. So she encouraged him constantly to do this. And he'd already suffered from some depression. He'd already had some run-ins. It's sad. And, you know, I like to laugh, joke, and drink Coke and have fun and make fun, but it's tough, man. And if you're in that age group where you're starting to have somebody wear you out and just push you, don't let it happen. Don't get this far. They've got suicide lines. There's people you can talk to. You can go to talk to a friend or somebody that's going to get your head right in this thing. Don't mess around anymore. It's not to be dilly-dallied with. Go see a priest. Except for the Catholic priest, we know how that's going to end up. You don't want to go see a Catholic priest because it could be really bad. Next thing you know, you get into Sandusky treatment, so we don't want that to happen to you either. So, something's wrong with her. Okay, something is a screw loose in there. Somebody that would encourage somebody to just keep doing it is a psychopath. They have to have it. Now, I was waiting. And you can read all the texts that she had. I was waiting for somebody to try to explain this to me because I don't know whatever happened to just being a nut. But she's obviously got a screw loose real bad. And finally, one of the doctors had come out and said that the medication that she was taking, not him, but her, the medication that she was taking caused her to do this. Now, I've heard of people getting abused when they were kids and beat, and they always say, you know, my daddy beat me, my daddy did this, or my mommy did this. But they actually said that the psychiatric medicine that Michelle Carter was using at the time made her be less empathetic to anybody or any person, and it helped not help her make good decisions. A psychiatric doctor actually testified that this was the reason why she did this. And I guess everything's going to come back to psychology now. I mean, no matter if you're a nut and you shoot somebody, they're going to say, well, you just have a malfunction in your brain. Well, if you have, you're raping little kids, you just have a malfunction in your brain. If you, are out and you're a serial killer, well, it's just a malfunction in your brain. Well, if you're, whatever just happened, you're nuts and you can't fix people like that. Everything's eventually going to go back to the point of just being psychologically not being able to make reasonable, logical thought and process it and come out with a reasonable explanation of what you're doing. It's not going to be like everything is just explained now through just being a medical term. Whatever happened to you, you're just nuts. You're just nuts, and we got to put you out. We got to put you out. But she, I believe she was a minor.
She was at the time that this happened. Yes, she is now 20 years old.
She's 20 years old, and of course now. But at the time she was 17, I guess, 18. Anyhow, she's gonna face some kind of judgment now, and I have no idea what do you give somebody like that? You know, what do you tell somebody who has done this? Do you give them 20 years? Face 20 years in prison? I mean, for doing that?
Well,
I mean, you know,
she is facing a sentence of 20 years.
Yeah, but what
prison,
do you give her 20 years? I mean, do you give somebody 20 years because they were texting somebody telling them, "Hey, yeah, go ahead, jump off the bridge"? I mean, how many times have you gotten an argument with somebody and they get in your nerves and it's a friend of yours?
Because there were so many other things that she could have done other than encourage him to get back in the truck.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
There's so many other things that she could have done to have gotten this young man help, rather than saying, "Oh no, if you don't do it today, you're not going to do it tonight, and you're not going to do it tomorrow."
Yeah, get back in the truck, you loser.
You know what's wrong with dialing 911?
He got out. He got out at one time, and she told him to go back in.
He did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, quitter, get back in there.
And she did it according to her friends in high school because she wanted all the attention. She wanted the attention.
She actually texted, "I love you."
She got the attention.
She actually said, "I love you. Kill yourself."
Yeah. Suck on this.
Yeah. Well, how many times have people said, "I'm going to kill him," or you know, and it's an expression we use. Somebody does something, you go, "Oh man, if he did that, I'm going to kill him." Well, you don't mean it. You don't really mean you're going to kill anybody. It's just an expression that you use. And she meant it though. She wasn't the kind of girl to just use it as a casual explanation of being upset. She meant it, and that poor boy his life's over. And it's a sad situation. I don't know what you can tell a parent. There's nothing that you can help. Is help get yourself some medicine, some attention, some real good help. That's all I can tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How can you tell somebody just do it, babe? just do it, babe. Is one of the text messages that she sent to him. You're ready. This is the right time. Just do it, babe. Okay.
Man.
True love.
Yeah. Sounds like my sex life. Just do it. Okay. I don't care if you like it. Just do it.
Too much information. Way too much information. Keep it to yourself.
We're going to have to wait to see the final outcome. Hey. I need some medicine too. Okay? Hey, look, let's switch the subject real quick to
please do
to the Alex Jones.
God bless the family, though. God bless his family. I'm sure they are devastated.
All right, well, let's move on. Alex Jones, of course, was leaking a lot of information from Megyn Kelly. The interview that they had is supposed to be aired. Now, Alex Jones was a little bit more slicker than Megyn Kelly, I guess, planned on it. Everybody knows Alex Jones. He's a crazy man. He dabbles in conspiracy theories. And he's kind of slick at what he does. He's kind of the shock jock of conspiracy theories. He takes a story that is truthful, a truthful story, and he takes it, and then what he looks is he finds little questionable tidbits and threads of a story, and he starts to calculate, and he comes up with a thread of why this is maybe not so true, and maybe this is, and before you know it, he has this conspiracy thing going on, and then he muddles it all together with the truth, and he kind of has this conspiracy story start to spread, and then he comes up with even something better, and so he throws something totally at it, which is actually crazy, and he makes a lot of money doing it. So I mean, I can't, I don't know what to say, but he said she was tripping over him. She was like, "I want to go out and get steaks with you." Hey, I like a steak now and then, at least he didn't tell her she looked good in a dress like Roger Ailes. Roger Ailes, of course, passed away, and
right,
not
before he was accused.
Yeah, Roger allegedly said that she had some lingerie, and he said, "I bet she looked good in it," and
that's another story.
That's another story. But anyhow, she said. Maybe he can get her for sexual harassment. Ask him for steaks.
That's a good thing. Why is it that guys don't ever yell
Yeah.
sexual harassment.
Because we want it. We want sexual harassment.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Bring it to me,
it's
baby.
Flat. We only got like 2 speeds, man. Guys got 2 speeds. That's shut down and go. Women have all these extra gears and all these extra things and emotions and reasoning and this whole complex brain cell that you guys got up there that guys can't figure out. And we don't have that, man. We've got the Red Bull flag, go. And then we have stop. That's it. That's it.
Safe word.
That's a safe word. That's my safe word. That hurts. Cut it out.
Okay.
So
again, another subject. Different story.
You're just dragging me in the mud every minute you can. You're terrible. But anyhow, she wiggled around and she was talking about the steak, and she knew. He said he knew it was a lie, that she was after him. And if you've ever heard the interview, she was very congratulatory towards Alex Jones. She was telling him how she was fascinated by him. And, he was such a father guy. And what she did was she did the typical girl move. Okay, this is a typical girl move. A lot of guys that are in great power and great influence like this guy, they have egos. They have huge egos, man.
So she flattered him?
She just buttered him up like a piece of butter and a piece of bread at a Bob Evans farm, okay? She told him, she was fascinated by him and she loved to watch him and she liked to have steaks with him and she wanted to do whatever with him and he's like, okay, sure you would. He was taping all this the whole time. So she played the chick card, as I call it, and was just buttering him up. And eventually he just he thought, well, I'm gonna release this. I'm gonna release this. So you be the judge. The bottom line is, she tried to get an interview. She wanted to get an interview. Well, she got it.
She was pretty desperate because he's not much to interview.
No, he is a fascinating guy, but I'm not going to offer him to have steaks with me. Yeah. I mean, he's just a crazy guy, and he's a conspiracy theorist. I was going to say left wing, but he's not.
To each their own.
To each their own, and he's very interesting. He's very engaging. He's the guy who goes, "We're gonna have this thing today. The United States of America is going down right now," and he's kind of like the Rush Limbaugh crazy guy. So, and I like him. I like people like that. I laugh at him all day. It's funny and it's great.
I think I saw him in one of those. Is it the fighting ring with all the wrestlers? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it was Don King.
That's it. Yes.
You saw Don King?
That's him.
That's
him.
No, Don King's a black guy with a lot of crazy hair. that definitely wasn't Alex Jones. but we'll have to see how Megyn Kelly does. Her last interview with Putin was, of course, a fiasco. It was a joke, I thought, and maybe you guys liked it, but I expected it to be a lot more. And
I think your opinion of that probably rang true with lots of people. I think a lot of people agreed with your opinion of her last interview.
It was terrible. Like I said, she looked like a girl begging for a prom date. She was just horrible.
So obviously that's her shtick.
That's her shtick, man. And she's a beautiful girl. Probably get sued for that, but she's a beautiful girl, and she probably knows better. But she's just trying to make her name. She's trying to be the next, Barbara Wawa. She's trying to do that. She's trying to be the one who catches you, and she's using her beauty to kind of enhance these people to come on board. And I'm starting to find out that she's just, flash in the pan. So I like her, but let's see where she goes now. She should have shut her mouth and stayed at Fox. If somebody told me I look good in a dress, I'd stick around. You know what I mean? 239-791-7002. 239-791-7002. I don't think I've ever been in a dress. Been in a lot of places, but never a dress.
Oh my! Oh my!
Well, let's shift the subject right now to Philando Castile. You know who he is?
Oh yes,
remember Philando?
Yes, he was a very popular man for a very wrong reason.
Yep, Minnesota officer Geronimo Yanez has been dismissed after he was acquitted of the manslaughter and the shooting death of the black motorist Philando Castile. If you've never seen that video, it's scary bad. I think Tripods might have a video of that back there. If we can get him to roll this video, it's I gotta warn you, it's graphic in nature.
We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back, and the police he's covered. He killed my
this
boyfriend.
Is actually his
he's
girlfriend
licensed.
actually
He's
did
carried.
this
He's licensed to
for
carry.
Facebook.
Yep,
He was
and
trying to
she
get out his
streamed it
ID
live
and his
while it
wallet
happened.
out his
And he was saying that, hey, he didn't reach for his gun. You told him to reach for his wallet.
He had a firearm and he was reaching for his wallet, and the officer just shot him in his arm.
He didn't have a firearm.
We're waiting for it back. I will, sir. No worries. I will. He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir.
Well, that's a shame.
4 bullets while he was sitting in a car with a seatbelt on.
And he got and the officer, wasn't found guilty of anything. So,
that explains the mama being so mad this morning.
Oh, it was terrible. And the little girl, if you listen and do some more research and listen to the actual video, it goes on further. And the little girl saying, "I'm here for you, mommy," which was extremely, breaks your heart to hear the little girl telling the mommy that she's there. And that's, look, I know the police, they got a tough job. I got it, guys. You deal with a lot of riffraff, a lot of scumbags, a lot of people that are just derelicts, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of guys that are breaking the law. But you all take some things way, way over the edge. And I know this because I have friends that are also in the force and have spoken to me about this. And they've even told me that when an officer comes over to you and puts his hands on you and grabs you, not harshly, just grabs you on your shoulder, and the minute you pull off, which is a natural reaction, if somebody grabs you, the first thing you do is you go, hey, you just pull away. That's the natural reaction, like blinking. Somebody pokes you in your eye, you blink, because that's what it is. It's a natural reaction. Well, the minute they put their hands on you and you go, hey, get off of me, that's it. You got it, resisting arrest immediately. And they do that because they pad the bill, so to speak. They pad the record, and they put that on there. So when they go to court and all these things are wrong, and they can prove them that the guy was wrong, or this was wrong, or that was wrong, it didn't pan out, and the judge throws out all the cases and all the accusations and all the innuendos, that will stick. That part of that arrest will stick, resisting arrest. And they do that because they can't. They're an officer of the law. Their voice is basically gold. If he says he resisted arrest, and they can't throw that out. It's indisputable, and they do that so at least they have that on you.
Right.
And that's terrible too. Yeah. And I know we broadcast from Florida, and there's some laws in Florida that are like no other laws in the world. And so I'm not trying to defend the criminals here, but I think that some of these officers have to use a little bit of brain power and think about what they're doing, and think about the logical thinking behind it and what they're doing. The guy has his gun out. This guy's sitting with his hands, and he says, "Hey, give me your wallet, or give me your license, or whatever." I'm sure the guy wasn't like quick draw McGraw reaching down and pulling up his gun real fast. I'm sure he's going, "Okay, let me get it. Let me get my," and then he got shot. And it's just a criminal act, and I think the guy should have. Of course, they let him go as soon as he, as soon as it was acquitted. So that was terrible.
Right,
man.
And the mother's point that she was so upset about was the fact that she said, her son would never have put the life of his girlfriend and his child in jeopardy.
Right.
Over a simple. What seemed to have been a simple traffic stop.
A broken tail light. 32-year-old.
The police officer asked him to give him the ID, and then turned around and said he's reaching for a gun.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend is streaming all of this live. So of course the mother is saying, she's going to continue telling people that her son has been murdered.
Yeah, I just can't see how they could come up with any other kind of
conclusion,
either. But other than, hey, he just made a boo-boo. He made a mistake.
Oh, I misunderstood what he said.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean that, you know. Well,
not good. God bless them all.
God bless them all. That's a shame. Well, let me just go real quickly to this MMA news, because a lot of people, we don't do a lot of sports. Of course, I love sports. I love the NFL. I'm a fanatic NFL guy, but I also love the UFC. and I love boxing. Of course, I like the old boxing. I know I'm an old guy, so I used to watch the old time boxers, the Muhammad Ali's and all those guys. But Mayweather and McGregor are supposed to fight August 25th, and of course it's going to be a fight to watch because Mayweather is of course coming out of retirement. He's going to beat Rocky Marciano's record, and it's 50-0. And he's coming out to fight a guy who with MMA, and of course McGregor is an MMA, but they're not going to be able to kick. Obviously, it's just going to be all boxing. They had to make special conditions, so McGregor wasn't allowed to kick Mayweather. Mayweather hasn't been in a ring for like a year and a half. Of course, he's still a top-notch professional boxer. Which is, if you've never seen a boxing match in real, and I have, and I used to watch boxing all the time until I started to go to see the amateur boxing. Once you see a real live boxing match from heavyweight professionals or guys that are, really, really good, it's like watching NASCAR on TV. You watch NASCAR and these guys that go circle, circle, circle. It's boring. You go to NASCAR and it's amazing. You see everything happening. You hear the sounds, the smell. It's just an amazing sport once you get your head into all that. Well, boxing's a lot like that. If you've never gone to see a professional boxing match, when I first went, I saw the guy hit this guy so hard, I went, holy moly, this is real. I mean, these guys hit a lot harder than you give them credit for, and they're a lot more violent than you ever give them credit for. It doesn't do them justice watching it on TV. It just doesn't. It doesn't. So if you get a chance to go watch a professional boxing match, please go. There's going to be a good fight. I'm putting my money on... I got to go with Mayweather. It's a boxing match. He's a pro. These guys are super great. They're super talented. As good as I like McGregor, and I like McGregor. Conor McGregor is good. He's a great talker. He's a good Irish boy, but man, I think he might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew, and that's going to be a tough match, August 26th. Now they're saying that the venue was actually already bought out by Ice Cube or somebody bought it, so they may not even be in Vegas. It might be in Mexico for all we know. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll be glad to see that. I'll be watching that. Also, real quick on the UFC, Matt Hughes, if anybody watches that, he actually had an accident with his truck getting hit by a train. He was actually he was actually taken to a hospital. I was going to say Airmac, but I'm not sure. I saw it just came up this morning real quick. So our best wishes to Matt Hughes. Hopefully he'll pull through, and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And
love watching him.
He's just a great guy. And last but not least, I want to talk about Kirk Jones.
Oh, my.
No relation to the other Jones, but Kirk Jones. If anybody's heard of Kirk Jones, there he is. He was a guy that went over the Niagara Falls and died.
Now, the second time. First time he survived it. Second time he...
Sometimes you have to learn your limitations.
Second time.
You got to understand you got limitations in life. If I was ever somebody to catch a bullet in my teeth in a shot and I caught it, I wouldn't try it again. The first time was when?
The first time he attempted suicide in 2003.
Yeah. He tried it and it was nothing. He just jumped off. Apparently.
He just jumped into the water.
And he ended up dying. And he ended up hurting himself.
Well, the first time he survived it, obviously he survived. The second time, he protected himself.
Yeah, that was recently, and he got in this rubber ball and jumped off into the ball and went over and he took the fall, and that is all. So they found him floating. The empty ball was recovered in the Mating of the Mist tour bus. That's a little bus you can get. I've been to Niagara. It's very beautiful. I highly recommend it. But go to the Niagara side, the Canada side, because you can see the falls better, and the Labatt's is good, and there's pretty women over there. We have a lot of grizzly bears on this side, so it's not good. It's not the same. So hopefully. He learned his lesson, and don't do that, okay? No matter what you think, don't do that, everybody. So we want to recommend that if you want to subscribe to the show, please feel free. Go to the Fix Radio Show at YouTube and subscribe. Fix Radio Show at YouTube. Subscribe. If you want to call in, you're always welcome. Feel free. 239-791-7002. 239-791-7002. Give us a call. Ted, pick up the phone and give me a call.
See ya.
All right. Peace.
Love you.